Skip it up and that up.
So, why were you implying that I was insulting Zaire by uploading this video?
I wasn't implying. I could care less about Zaire, to be honest with you. And I actually said that on my Review Tech USA page, and I implied it on there. It's just amazing to me that people will put in the energy. And at first, I didn't even know it was you. I just said that the comment was general. If you saw the first comment, it wasn't thrown towards you. That people would put that much time and energy to finding out something about somebody outside of YouTube to whatever they were trying to do. I don't really know how that was negative or positive, whatever was about him. I mean, if you're trying to say that someone can't be a bad person or someone's a pussy because they do that, like Stalin used to go around kissing babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know what that proved in either direction. I don't like Zaire or dislike Zaire. I could care less about him. So it had nothing to do with him. It was just the fact that someone like went out of their way to find dirt on somebody, and on top of it, it was like anemic dirt. That was really what the point of my comment was.
So you didn't know anything, you just, left the comment. But what about telling them to die?
I said, yeah. I said they should go back into their hole and cut off the oxygen to the hole. Because it's ridiculous that the energy that people put in to finding shit or starting shit with other people on YouTube is absolutely ridiculous.
What do you mean energy?
By going around and doing research on people and trying to find. I've seen other people that they go and find. I've had people find out my address and other information because they disagreed with one of my videos, like back to like phone numbers that I've had from the 80s. That's what I'm saying. When people put that much energy in to find out dirt on other people or find out things about people's personal lives, it just boggles my mind. It blows me away. And it wasn't that I was angry because someone was going after Zaire. Like I said, one, Zaire is a grown-ass man. He can handle his own shit. And two, like I said, I don't dislike or like the guy. It was just to see that, and on top of it, like, oh, someone's not gangster because of that. I know people who held up people at gunpoint and used to sell crack that are now running their own flooring businesses and do plumbing and things like that for a living and have a wife and kid. Because you do
We're not
something.
talking about reformed criminals. We're talking about the actual gangsters and stuff. Zaire claimed he was a gangster, and this video shows that he's not.
I guess. I mean, either way, again, you can't. I don't know. You can't. I just know.
You're talking about effort. It doesn't take any effort to Google something.
But why would someone go out of their way to find out information about somebody on a personal level? Why take when I believe me, man, people piss me off on a daily basis on YouTube. When I leave, and especially with this is what I do to keep my lights on, when I step away from YouTube, even if someone here, I don't go and look up shit on them to cause drama about it. I just go away. I step away from the computer and I go on with my day. Maybe I'll scratch my nuts as I step away from the computer. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what what boggles me is that I'm not saying I don't know you from a hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much effort you put in or don't. But there's some people who, like, let's take DSP Gaming, for example, which, again, another guy I don't like or dislike. There's people who have channels of dozens of videos dedicated to the guy, finding out shit about his personal life. And I'm just like, it hurts my head. It amazes me what people will do to other people who really don't have a bearing on what they do with their own lives. Like for me, for example,
finding out about Zaire's life, he'll put everything up except for that $12,000 PC.
Whatever the case may be with that, man. I know the whole thing because Blackbond talked to me on Skype about that. And again, I'm not even going into that because I don't want to be a part of that, to be honest with you. But, again, that's the thing that bothers me. And it pisses me off royally. Maybe my comment was harsh, but I don't really feel bad about it. It's not defending Zaire because, again, I don't care about Zaire. It's the fact that I just don't. It frustrates me on a personal level, maybe because it happens with me too, that people will put so much time and effort trying to condemn or shit on another man, whether they actually are doing it or not, on the internet that has no bearing on their life. It does. It frustrates me. It's a very annoying. I mean, I know I have to accept it. No one put a gun to my head to do this and start making money off of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a very frustrating factor of it. And sometimes I do go over the top, and I don't really care that I do. You know, that's really it, man. I mean, that's the whole thing. But a lot of people thought and misconstrued what I said, that I was defending Zaire. I don't really care about Zaire. That may sound mean too. I just don't give a shit about the guy either way.
So you left a comment out of sympathizing with him,
Not
pretty
sympathizing
much.
with him. I was annoyed at the situation. Not sympathizing with him. There was nothing in that
I
comment
mean,
that
you said this. You said no. I'm talking about what you just said a few minutes ago. You said the same thing happens to you,
Mhm.
and that frustrates you.
That's empathy. Empathy is different from sympathy. Sympathy is when you feel sorry for the person. Empathy is when you understand the situation.
so you understand the situation
Yeah.
that he's a fraud.
But the things that, again, I'm not talking about what's going on with him with his PC. I'm talking about the fact that
No, I'm talking about
keep it
just the
about the
general
PC. That's what
fraud.
I'm saying though. Keep it about the PC. What is finding out what his former employer was, or maybe current? I have no idea. I don't really care. Again, what does that have to do with his PC? What does that have to do with if he has a $12,000 PC or not? What he feels, what the guy feels like telling people on YouTube, that's his choice to tell them. Outside of that, it's just strange that people will look up stuff about him.
It has everything to do with his $12,000 PC because he's saying he got the money from being a gangster or whatever.
But what does him working
If
at?
if he's not a gangster, that pretty much disproved that he lied about how he got the PC.
But what does it have to do? What is a former employee, or whether he got the money from crack or got the money from wiping dog shit, have to do? If he doesn't have the PC, he's lying about it. Then that's fine. He's lying about the PC, and I'm not condoning that in any way. But whether he got the money from cooking crack in his kitchen, or from wiping up dog shit, what does that matter? I mean, if he says he got it from that, then but who cares? But again, he chose to tell you the way he told you. Why does finding out about, why do you need to prove what he did for a living? Does that make sense?
What
If
I
you
did
want to,
was prove that he was lying about being a gangster, thus lying about how he got the PC in the first place.
but I've heard some of his stories before. He said that he said the two things he said in the past, and again, I'm not defending or going after the guy, is that he also got a job working after he got out of doing that shit. He got a job working doing management for years. So maybe he got the money from that. Who knows where he got the money from? Am I saying it's a good thing that he's lying about the fact that he has a $12,000 PC? No. Honestly, I don't really care. But I'm just saying, like, why? Like, if you don't agree with something that I do, or you think that I'm a dickhead or whatever, and there was a picture of me walking around, which that would be pretty funny. If there was a picture of me in assless chaps jogging down the beach, what does it have to do with the fact of what my stance on console gaming? You know what I'm saying? What does him talking about a $12,000 PC that more than likely he doesn't have to do with him being a manager at Animal Rescue Foundation or wherever the fuck it is? What does that have to do with it?
We're not talking about like his actual job. We're talking about him being a fraud. He said he was a gangster. This proves that he's not.
It doesn't prove that though, dude. I have friends that were in
So
that
a gangster is going to
lifestyle.
have a manager position. If they stop, they're not a gangster anymore.
Okay.
He's talking about he's still a gangster.
I've known people that have had done colorful things after hours and still held down a job too. It's not always black and white, man. It's not.
Colorful things like what?
Colorful things like, I don't know. Just use your imagination. Like, come on, man, selling drugs, doing whatever, doing sitting on the street, doing what you do. I
Yeah, if they
wasn't
get
part
a,
of that. Hmm.
yeah, if they get arrested for that, they're gonna get fired.
Hmm. Some people are very good at it. Not everyone is just talking about it on the internet and bragging about it.
And the next thing you said I don't know what real gangsters are. Explain to me what your definition is a gangster. How can they do good things?
How can anybody? But see, that doesn't even have to do with gangster. Everyone has multiple sides, man. It's never black and white. The perfect example, like I said before, Stalin used to go and kiss babies. Does that make him a good guy? Does that make him not a horrible totalitarian that wasn't a dictator? The friend of mine that I had that held up someone at gunpoint to try to rob him of his car. Now, granted, he's doing different things now. Does that mean that because he's doing something different now that it makes that he was incapable of doing that before?
So what do gangsters do that's good,
They
like
could
for your community?
A gangster can do like I just said. They could have one face, and the smartest ones are the ones that do something outside of. They don't just stick to that lifestyle. The face they put on to the public is a different face that they put in different places. You get what I'm saying? When someone when
So they're not real gangsters, like I said.
That's not me. That's actually the smartest gangster there is, man. What do you mean? The smartest gangsters in the world are the ones that deceive people and can be part of the community and can ingratiate with them. The ones
So
that
that's
go
not
around
really
bragging.
doing something good. If you're doing it to deceive people, that's not really good, is it?
Yeah, but that's the whole point. You do good things to hide what the other things that you do. Doesn't matter if it's truly good or not. Yeah, I could go around and be a horrible person behind closed doors, but I could go outside and people won't believe it because I'm donating to charities. I'm holding events. You know what I'm saying?
That's more despicable to, do something good to
Oh, I'm not
pretend to
saying
be
it
good.
isn't, of course, but that's what people do.
So they're not really doing good
The
things.
stupid ass gangsters and the pseudo gangsters are the ones that brag about it to try to impress people. The ones that are actually about it are the ones that you may not even know are. Or if they are, they have two different sides to them. And it isn't good. I've met a few of those people throughout my lifetime. I'm not one of them, and I would never even try to pretend to be. But I have been around people. I also haven't lived under a rock. And the ones that lasted the longest and got out by, well, stress and choice are the ones that hit it well. The other ones are either in prison or worse. Or they just were fake and they were full of shit.
So real gangsters don't actually do anything good. They put up a fake facade, I guess, and pretty much bullshit being fake, which isn't really, I mean, bullshit being good, which isn't really good to begin with. So they
Or maybe
don't
they
really
do,
do
or
anything good.
again, man, people are three dimensional. Maybe they have a soft spot for certain things. You know what I'm saying? And they may do it, but then there's that dark side that comes out of them. It is, like I said, it isn't always black and white. And that's what actually makes it confusing and more dangerous because you may know a dude and think he's the nicest dude on the planet. And then there's this other side to him that comes out. Unfortunately, I've seen it, and it sucks because it makes you want to kind of put people into compartments. All right, who should I stay away from? Who shouldn't I? And then you find out more shit about them, and that's why they do it too. Because once again, oh, this so and so, he's done this shit, he's done that, he's hood, he's this, he's that, and he's like, how could he be? He just held a charity event at wherever Duchess Stadium 6 months ago. He's a good guy. There's another guy I know who did web design, who after hours also did other shit to get some money. It's not just, I'm not talking about Zaire. He could be, truly be a ballerina for all I care. But my point being is that you can't just say, oh, someone does this job, they work at McDonald's, so that, they probably haven't pistol whipped someone before. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that. You can't say that.
Uh-huh. And still, they're not doing anything good, like you said. They're not really good.
They can either not be good in doing it as a front to keep people off the radar of people, or which I have met this too, or maybe they do have a soft spot for certain things. You could still be a shitty person and, you know, be selling drugs in after hours, but maybe I'm just saying this because I'm just thinking because what we're talking about with Zaire. You may have your weakness may be dogs. You may love puppies, but you may like making money from crack by selling crack on the side. I mean,
Loving puppies and having a soft spot for animals is not the same as doing something good.
what happens if a guy who sells drugs also donates money to some kind of animal rescue foundation? People have multiple sides, man. You can't just say someone's black, white, and 2 plus 2 equals 4 when it comes to human beings.
How many drug dealers are donating to charity?
I can't prove that in any way, and you can't disavow that in any way. That you can't say that in either direction.
No, no, how many do you think?
I don't know. It could be more than you think. It could be less than I think. But it has happened before. That's what. Look at. You want to talk about real gangsters? Go back to like the mafia back in the day. That's what they used to do all the time. The fronts they used to put up by donating to charities, running events. Some of them were considered celebrities, and people loved them. Why do you think they did it? Because it kept people off the road. And even if the cops wanted, they would be having the cops dancing like marionettes. You know, it's not like I'm sitting here giving a history lesson, but I'm just saying not everyone is just they do this and that's it. That's it. And it wasn't like I said. I'll end this with this because we're just going to keep going around in circles. The thing is, and the reason is not to defend Zaire. That's not why I got pissed off under that video. If people want to keep it about gaming, call him a fraud because he's not showing the computer. But to go and find shit out outside of, but he did this, so he can't be gangster. What's the point? And it's not like I said I'm defending him. It's just I empathize, keyword empathize, with the situation because it's just frustrating when people try to find things out about you. A lot of time it's misinformation. I can tell you that firsthand. To try to hurt your credibility for what you do, especially with me, because not only do I love what I do on YouTube, it also pays my bills. So when people try to discredit it, I do take it personally.
Why would you take it personally? It doesn't really affect you.
I take it personally because the fact that people are trying to discredit me in what I do. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that I'm, crying in my pillow with my thumb up my ass. It's when people try to find things out to try to make me seem bad to like what my opinion.
What are you doing? You're just reading articles.
Oh, here we go. All right. So here's the bait again. Man, I give my take on things. I enjoy what I do, and I make decent money doing it. And whatever you think is what I do, it takes up 8 hours of my day, just like anyone else, and I just have a blast with it. If that's all you think I do, that's okay. You don't have to watch or like what I do. We'll leave it at that.
Well, what about the gangsters that, steal from the rich and give to the poor? Like Robin Hood.
What? What are you talking about?
Oh, just one of your subs brought that up. I mean, they do good things, right? They're nice people.
Now you're saying that they're all nice people. That's not true either. Some of them maybe just be shitty people who, like I said, put on a front to keep people away from them.
So, in truth, they're just shit.
They can be. Or there could be ones like I just said before, which we just discussed again. That's why I'm going to end this phone call.
That are not real gangsters. They're not real. If they're doing that and they have another side, they're not real.
Okay. All right, man. They're not real. But okay, I'm going to end this at this because this is going to turn into one of those things that's just going to be a circle going round and round. And that's pretty much it. If you don't like, if you think that my take on this is wrong, this is kind of a hearsay thing. You don't agree with me. I don't agree with you. If you were the one who personally found out all of that information and you took my comment offensively, to a small degree, I will apologize to you because I don't like telling people to quote unquote drop dead. But beyond
No,
that,
you told one of your subs to. It wasn't me that brought the video up. I just uploaded it.
one of my subs brought you the video about Zaire.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, then they shouldn't have done that either. And I hold them just as accountable as if you did it or someone else. Doesn't matter if it was my sub. There's no reason to go do shit outside of YouTube to try to bring people's personal lives onto that website. So if it was one of my subs, I still say the same thing to them. That's not right.
But it wasn't really a secret that Zaire worked in an animal shelter. Many people known this long before that.
Okay. But so it's still, whether it was 5 minutes or 5 hours, someone went outside of YouTube on their own free time to get that video, download it, post it to YouTube for what?
For last, they flat out told you it was a joke.
Okay. So going into someone's personal life that is not funny to me. You know, finding out personal information about someone, whether no matter what he talks about on the internet or not, and going outside of the internet to find out more information, it's just not funny to me. I don't find it funny.
Oh, he's in the chat and he said it took him just 5 minutes to do it, and he did it for a joke.
Okay. I just said 5 minutes or 5 hours. I said that just you could rewind the tape and you could see that I said that. I'm recording it too. I'm going to upload this unedited too. So if people agree with your side, you know, there's going to be no cutouts and you could listen to it. So either way, they'll know. If people don't agree with me, that's fine. I don't edit shit and I don't censor shit, so people only hear my side. So, but it was good talking to you, man. Whether or not you agree or disagree, like or dislike me, you did keep it peaceful, or you didn't try to bring 12 other people in to try to ask other questions and make it even more personal. So, if you ever want to debate something again, I will with you.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
You have a good night.